Hello everyone, in this video we are going to solve multi-step equations. So we can solve equations that occasionally may have more than two steps. We refer to these as multi-step equations. If there are like terms on one side of the equation, we will combine them together. We may also need to use the distributive property, and should that happen, we'll combine any like terms we have there. Then what we'll do is we'll use the properties of equality to then solve the equation. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few examples. Here I have 4b plus 16 plus 2b equals 46. So right off the bat, what I notice is that I've got these two terms that I can combine together. Everything else will remain the exact same because I don't have any other like terms. And then we'll just solve this regularly like we would solve a regular two-step equation. Start by subtracting. And this gives me 30. Divide this out. And we get 5. Now plugging this back in, 4 times 5 is 20, 2 times 5 is 10, 20 plus 10 is 30, 30 plus 16 is 46. This checks out. Let's look at one now where we have to use the distributive property and then combine any like terms, should there be any. So distributing that 3 to every term in parentheses gives me 3k plus 24 equals 21. No like terms, so now all we do is subtract and solve this regularly like we would solve, just like the last one. 21 minus 24 gives me negative 3. Divide it out. K is equal to negative divided by a positive gives me negative 1. So that takes care of solving multi-step equations. I want to work out one more because there may come a time when we have to solve a problem that kind of looks like this. So in the last video, I worked out an example where we had a fraction that was the coefficient. Let's work out one where we have to work with decimals. It can happen, and if it ever does happen, we can take a look and see what we must do. Equals 13.25. Okay. So right here, I've got 3 decimals. I don't know about you, but I personally don't like working with decimals in equations specifically. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear the equation of decimals by multiplying by a power of 10. When you multiply by 10, your decimal point moves over one space to the right. If you multiply your number by the second power of 10, or 100, it'll move your decimal point 2 places to the right, which I'm going to have to do for this problem because I've got 2 numbers behind the decimal here, 2 numbers behind the decimal here, but only 1 here. So in order to satisfy all numbers to no longer become decimals, I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 100. And that also accounts for the number on the other side of the equal sign. So 0.5 times 100, this gives me 50. Multiplying this by 100 just gives me 875. And then multiplying this by 100 gives me 1,325. So yes, it's a little different, but from here, we just solve it like we have been solving equations in previous videos and in this video particularly too. Subtract 875. 1,325 minus 875 gives you 450. Dividing this, bring this down here. You do get a nice number for this, and that number is 9. In the event that you work with an equation involving decimals, clear the decimals first, so that way you're working with whole numbers, and then it makes solving it easier. Plugging 9 back into here, you can actually plug it back into this equation to make it a little bit more easier on yourself. Unless you really love decimals, let that be your thing. I will plug it personally into this one just to double check, and it does check out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.